7 months and 3 days to welcome you back to historic Doyle Field in Leominster here on Rivalry Family Media. A very good evening, everyone. Todd Robbins for RFM, joined as always by Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, and happy to have you along with us as we come back to action here at historic Doyle Field. It was 7 months to the day. Our last broadcast was March the 6th, 2020. It was St. John's and Franklin in the district basketball championship down at WPI. 7 months later, we run our first Sounds of the Game broadcast on October the 6th, 2020. And now we welcome you back with full-on signature play-by-play here on Rivalry Family Media. Bear with the masks, bear with a lot of things we'll take you through this evening, but it should be a heck of a lot of fun from historic Doyle Field tonight. A great opportunity to feature some sports that, you know what, have never had the opportunity to get on television, at least on a regular basis, and we're really excited here on Rivalry Family Media when the opportunity presented itself to be involved with the community, help up through this difficult time period administrative from a standpoint of athletics. Very exciting that athletics can be offered. Very difficult, of course, that the crowd is limited in who can and cannot come. Welcome in our friends from Westborough this evening, joining us as well here on Rivalry Family Media on Facebook Live and YouTube as well. So great to be here and be with you tonight. Field hockey, as we said, takes center stage tonight. Leominster plays host to Westborough. Both teams come in having lost their first game in this COVID-shortened Fall 1 season, and both similar distances. Both ran into early season buzzsaws. For Westborough, they ran into Wachusett, an 8-0 loss on Monday for the Rangers. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils, they were on the road at Algonquin, a 7-0 loss down in Northborough to open Leominster's season. So both teams come in 0-1. They've given up a combined 15 goals, and neither have scored a goal. Tonight, in order to win the game, somebody's got to score at least one, and it should lead to some really exciting action. We'll take you through all of it. But Bill Thomas, it's great to have you back here, and of course, you've been out covering games here for RFM and our Sounds of the Game coverage, but it's great to be able to hear you again as well.
Yeah, Todd, and it's great to be able to see you again. You know, Kate and I have had a couple of great soccer games this week, but now it really feels like we're back in full speed ahead, and you know, I've missed our football, but this is next best thing, and we're about ready to start the game off here.
Indeed we are. Westborough will have possession to open the game. Lexi Latenzio will get us started when she is given the cue from the officials. Introductions have begun here at historic Doyle Field. And Kate, some of the things we note, some of the COVID-associated rules that we're going to see here. A game that is typically played 11 on 11, 10 players on either side plus a goalie. It's been reduced with these COVID rules to 7 on 7, each a keeper. So that means you have 6 on either side playing the field, still within the 100-yard football field that contains this game. That means you've got a lot more space and a lot less players to occupy it. And what we know when you have a lot more space and a lot less players to occupy the field is that offense, in theory, should go up and the game should get a heck of a lot faster.
And there's going to be a lot of discussion on this. First and foremost, as Billy said, we've been here for 2 soccer games and the number of players on the pitch didn't change. So this then introduces you right off the bat to the MIAA individual sport committee system. And so this is a field hockey committee decision versus what the soccer committee on the MIAA decided to keep full strength on both sides of the ball on the pitch for soccer. So as you said, it's really going to spread the action out. And a lot of times in soccer, and I'm sure in field hockey, we're going to take a break.
First, though, our national anthem.
So the 7-on-7 action is really going to spread the field, and I do think offense is going to go up. And not only that, I think you're going to see a situation where individual players, the talent of individual players, is going to be able to carry a stereotypical, very team-oriented game.
And there's the whistle to begin play, and Latenzio plays it to herself, and we're underway here at historic Doyle Field, Westborough and Leominster in varsity field hockey. Ball pulled right toward the sideline, and Leominster will get possession as Leominster moves from right to left here in this first quarter of action. So typically a game of two halves, two 30-minute halves. Now it's sort of changed mathematically to build in some mass breaks. So take those halves, split them in half, as Bill Thomas said before we went on the air, and so you end up with 15-minute quarters. Same amount of game time, just an extra break built in, no timeouts has been decided. So the coaches cannot stop the action. Leominster moves the ball down forward. It's Howlett. Howlett looks to center. And the Rangers will step in to pick it off. It's Hung. Emma Hung advances the ball, now stripped away as it's back and forth on Westborough end of the field. Illegal contact called there against Leominster. No, excuse me, against Westborough. Leominster thought they were the ones that got hit for the whistle.
Everybody's running away from the ball.
And the official says, no, they called it against Westborough. Ball into the feet there.
Ooh.
And Westborough with the high drive. Years ago, that used to prompt a dangerous hit. No call there. Ball played down. And Leominster maintains possession with nemesis.
That hit bone.
Well, it sure sounded like it, but no, it was stick. Nicely played to get the flat edge of the stick on it. Westborough trying to clear their own end. Leominster doing a good job to keep the pressure on. Playing on this left end of historic Doyle Field. Another contact called against Leominster, and the Rangers will put the ball on the run. Down right sideline goes Latenzio. She's got herself out in front of the pack. Needs a little help to center. Now she'll turn the action herself and will center the ball toward the middle part of field.
Latenzio very obviously looking for help there, and there were no red jerseys around.
And the ball driven away there by Andon Dallaire, getting the start tonight in Leominster's net and cage to our right. Now Leominster trying to clear their end. They'll push the ball forward. It's the Amateurs. With a little stick contact, moves it across midfield, and now poked along there by Howlett. Howlett's got one-on-one on a break. Tries to center, nobody there. Has her pocket picked by Elmrick.
So much space there and no help from the Blue Devils on that end of the field. Howlett streaking very effectively, but no help there on the one-on-one.
12.5 left here in quarter number one. And Elmrick steps in again, and now a little Tiger Woods action there. Kind of playing the ball with a little dribble in the air, downfield, drops it, and then driven forward.
Oh, we got a foot contact.
And that was Martell with the drive. Westborough makes contact with it. Leominster right back on it. The quick restarts here. No, not the slow action you're perhaps used to seeing years ago. If this is your first time seeing a field hockey game here at Doyle Field in about 10 or 15 years, as it is for me, game used to be much slower when they used to play it in the outfield of the baseball field. You know, down here on the turf.
One of the things Kate and I picked up on is one of the things they prohibited in the soccer matches was those quick starts. They're allowing the kids to spread out and separate.
First swing doesn't make contact. Second drive, and now down the left side of the field it goes.
Todd, you note the turf here in the bowl at Doyle Field. It's going to contribute to far fewer whistles being called because you can anticipate bounces far better. It's not like the old parquet at the Garden with the dead spots like you'd find up in the outfield in the baseball field at the upper field at Doyle. A lot more true surface here for the turf.
Howlett gets the shot on cage, kicked away there.
Favorite save so far, the kick save.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a huge fan of the kick save.
And driven to the sideline, Leominster will get the restart.
Just don't miss.
It's MIAA to pull the trigger as we run under 11 minutes here in quarter number one. Ball was poked down immediately there. It looks like Constant. Constant waits for some space to develop. Forward to Howlett, and then the ball comes high above the knee. Dangerous contact. Now the ball back to Westborough. It's MIAA. Pushes it forward to Constant. And now driven away by the Rangers. So back and forth they go. played a lot of time, Bill Thomas, in that quarter of the field. Leominster hasn't moved it quite to the last quarter, if you will, of the field. Spent a lot of time between what is the football 25 and 40-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like the girls are bunched up over there, and they're working a triangle, but nobody can get any offensive forward movement into the center of the field.
Westborough's got a 4-on-1, though. They're moving their way for their best scoring opportunity. A drive past Dallaire and into the right corner, and the Rangers draw first blood. 10:06 to play here in quarter one, and Westborough with the goal. Celebration there for Elrich. She was the one that pulled the trigger, got him loose, and downfield she went. And, of course, with this amount of space, Bill Thomas, you're not close enough to anybody to really necessarily hand it off without risking possession. So instead, she just took it all the way.
And I think the advantage is with the offense play, just take shots. You got less bodies between you and the goal. And like I say, probably only 2 or 3 kids rather than 4 or 5 in your way typically. Hey, just fire away and take your chances.
Traffic does not become a problem for you in that instance. See your shot, take your shot. Get your look, take it.
Absolutely. Constant started the initial drive, and then Howlett picks it up.
Got another foot.
Yeah, got benefit there. Leominster will keep. Howlett drops back to Constant, who will pull the trigger around the football 20-yard line.
A little surprised they're letting them pick up the ball with their hand. Soccer, they're not letting them touch it at all.
The two-hand drive center for Howlett. Howlett moves it forward there for Diametris. It was knocked down by the keeper, and now a whistle in the box. Typically, this would draw a penalty corner. That was one of course, the big things about this game you would typically see, but that is something that the committee has elected to remove from the game. So there are no penalty corners. Fouls in the circle are going to be 25-yard hits, and there you go. Ball on the 25-yard line, and Diamesis will have the opportunity to check it Constant. Leominster pokes the ball into the middle of a pack there. That was Miller.
Not having that corner certainly causes a change tactically for the coaches.
Ball into the center, Constant. Constant tried the drive, slipped past the keeper and in. We're knotted at 1, 8:50 to play here in quarter number 1.
Looked like slipped it right between the keeper legs there, but a lot of traffic in front of the goal. Good job whacking at it, eventually driving it home.
Remember, we said both teams combined have allowed 15 goals in their first meeting on either side of the year, and neither had scored. Now they've both scored and yet failed to keep the ball away. So I think we're looking at a high-scoring affair developing here at Doyle Field, and end-to-end we expect it to go.
Looked like a large scrum. We weren't able to see who actually contributed to the goal for the Lady Blue Devils, so hopefully we'll get that information.
Rangers pull the trigger starting there. That was Hamill.
Number 2.
Hamill lost control. The official signal was Sarah Diametris gets credit with the goal. Here's Howlett. Howlett has it poked away, but goes back, puts it forward. Absolutely. Continues to move the ball downfield. It was deflected. It'll be a 25-yard hit. The ball goes out across the end line.
That one, oh, go ahead, Billy.
Okay, I just got a comment. Both teams scored an early goal here. It's got to do nothing but just pick up their spirit, seeing they were both shut out in their first games. I think it's just going to make for a much better, a much livelier game going forward.
That last deflection off of number 17 for the Rangers, Rafe Fredman. Are we going Fredman on that or Friedman?
Fredman. There's no
so.
Yes. The indirect hit. Contact was knocked down. Nice job by the Rangers to step in there. It was Latanzio. Latanzio, a force to be reckoned with, working here on Santucci. And now there's illegal contact crossing the stick, and so the continuation. Latanzio puts it in play. Sit forward, moves it on there for Tarzia. And now a whistle going back the other way. And so Leominster will recover there.
Hard to get in the groove with that many turnovers.
Latanzio, though, knocks it away immediately. Now working on 2 Blue Devils. She'll poke it forward. On the hustle, it's Tarzia. Tarzia hangs around the 15-yard line, and the whistle going back the other way. 7.5 to play here, quarter 1. Teams knotted at 1, Westborough and Leominster. Varsity Field Hockey here on Rivalry Family Media. Another foot contact there, and Westborough's possession right around Leominster's 39-yard line. Forward it gets poked there for Martel. Martel dishes it out to the wing, finds Michelle Hung. Hung comes down left wing, and it couldn't quite poke it away, could Marchetti. Stick-to-itiveness ends up poking the ball loose at Santucci. Santucci pulls herself loose, feeds it to an open Howlett at the middle of the field. Howlett with a defender to beat.
Nice
She'll
move.
make a nice move, pull it to the center of the field going left. She's working down the wing there with Oliveira. Keeps it herself, Howlett. Flicks it low, kicked away there by Frogel. Another opportunity for Leominster, another drive. Knocked down there off the stick of Santucci. And now a whistle, somebody ends up on top of the ball. Leominster will get possession. 6.5 to play in the first quarter. A flurry of action here.
I've been really impressed by the speed of the action in this game. Usually you're seeing a lot more bodies, so there's a lot more congestion. It's like rush hour traffic out on Route 2 eastbound in the morning. You're not really getting a lot of movement, but because everything's so spread out and there's so much space, the speed really does pick up. It's really fun to watch.
I'm very impressed. I mean, I think about there's always that dual thoughts, right? When you're, administrating high school athletics, you have the thought about participation, so you try to get as many players involved as you can. But I think a 7-on-7 game is far better for this game. It's more space and seemingly creates more action.
I want to expound on that point. Sorry, Billy. I keep
It's okay.
jumping
It's kind of like
sorry.
4-on-4 hockey. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
I also want to expound on that same point. Normally, because you have far more people out there on the field, your rosters are quite a bit larger than what is necessitated by the numbers that are out right now. And so then, like you said, it's a participation game. And even at the varsity level, a coach needs to think about that. Number one, keeping fresh legs out on the field. And number two, understanding the amount of depth that you have on the roster right now and being able to successfully implement that. The number of tactical changes and rule changes going on that the coaching staffs have to manage at this level, you really have to understand what they're going through. It's a lot.
Leominster on the restart, driven down into the wing by Miller, found the stick of Oliveira, and then wide of the cage left, and the ball back to the Rangers. 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
Great center pass right there. I think that's also a product of more open field. Less bodies in the way.
I've been impressed.
Now, I'm a big fan of the 7-on-7 game. It has increased the speed, and I know when the game was being considered for the Olympics, it was introduced as a 7-on-7 game. A lot of these are being proposed with new and creative rules.
And I think this gives the kids the opportunity to use their skills a little more, too, without all the bodies in the way.
Howlett with the ball coming loose. Centering pass in that middle of the field and kicked away by Frogel at the last second, and the Rangers try to turn the tide. Overran there by Martell. But she'll keep it moving forward. And then advanced on for Fielder. Fielder and Martell trying to clear their end for the Rangers. Const keeps poking her way in there. Santucci. Drive up the middle of the field. Leominster tries to knock it down. There was Parker. Parker overruns the contact there. Working strongly there was Fielder for the Rangers. She'll pull it down left wing, crossing the 25-yard line. Now sit back.
Look at that individual effort, though, by Parker. She overruns it, immediately changes direction, and just gets right back in the play. She's hungry out there.
Indeed she is. Ball driven down the right wing there. Leominster gets to it. Able to move it down that right sideline is Gasparo. Gasparo with some room, dancing along the right sideline. Has her pocket picked from behind there by Steck. But Leominster recovers. Now centering pass. Couldn't drive it home as Howe. Ball stays in along the right end line.
Oh, that didn't go in. I don't know. That was a great rush again, once again, down that right side.
One of the things, Todd, I'd like you to hit on as well, I don't know if anybody that is familiar with field hockey seeing a lot of free substitutions right now.
Yes, indeed. Substitutions was one of the other corrections. They'll take place at midfield with no contact between players. Used to be similar to the volleyball system. The players would exchange positions. The officials would be able to see that.
And in volleyball, if you don't make contact, you don't substitute. So it was required.
Yes, indeed it was. As we pass under 3 minutes to play here in quarter one, Leominster and Westborough knotted at 1 in varsity field hockey here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, happy to have you along with us as the battle for the ball continues along the Westborough 25-yard line. Finally stepping up on that loose ball was Hamill. Hamill pulls the ball out to the left wing. Being bothered from behind by Santucci, trying to get back into the play. And Santucci's stick comes across the arm of the Rangers. Appears to be Height. Height has the ball poking there by Santucci. Finds a lead pass there in the hands of Gasparo. Gasparo
She's
crossing the
dancing.
15-yard line, keep her feet short, drives, and it's wide of the net, right out past the end line, and the ball back to the range.
Gasparo doing a nice dance there to retain control of the ball to be able to get that shot on goal.
As we pass under 2 minutes to play here in quarter number one. Great night here at historic Doyle Field. The colors, a beautiful
feel of fall.
evening. It is. It's the feel of fall. And I got to tell you, Thomas, this is probably the longest I've been out of my house since, I don't know, March.
Todd gets sentimental when we let him out right now.
You woke up from your hibernation, huh?
Get a little weepy when I get to be outside for more than an hour at a time.
Turns into Ralph Waldo Emerson over here.
I tell
Henry
you,
David Thoreau.
Fall is just like all of a sudden here. I was out riding around today. The colors are everywhere.
Indeed they are.
The two of you.
We'll move it forward
Go
for
paint the
Gasparo.
picture. My word.
Battle for the ball right along the midfield stripe and out of bounds. Last touch by Leominster.
Well, I don't think you appreciate it until you take a ride on the highway. That's where you can really enjoy the colors.
Don't give him any ideas.
Find Bill Thomas this weekend on a Kangamangas highway somewhere. Ball pokes away there by Height. Height will pull it over to the left wing.
Ooh.
And poke down there by Gasparo. Gasparo allows Height to recover, avoid the whistle.
Look at, oh God, Parker is in it. She is scrappy over there.
And contact made there across the stick. As we
I
pass
just
under
love how
40 seconds here in
aggressive
the
she
first quarter.
She's in control of that entire side of the field.
Without question. As we pass under 30 seconds here. Battle along the 25-yard line. Rangers try to force the action down to the right end of the field. Get another opportunity on Dallaire. And now as the ball comes across the ankles, it looked like it was a foot contact. And so Leominster with the drive, constant, big drive up the middle of the field to change field position out to the midfield. 5 seconds for Leominster to find a connection and move their way downfield. Now 3. Moments running out. And there's the whistle as the officials see the 000s on the Doyle Field board. And that's one quarter in the books here from historic Doyle Field. This field hockey game has been marked by exactly what we expected. A wide open game, end-to-end action. Little lower scoring than I expected the way the first quarter started. Each puts one on the board in quarter one. We're knotted at 1 through 1 quarter here on RFM.
Well, I have to say, both teams have had their opportunities. They just haven't been able to capitalize. It's been a fast-moving game. I think we've already seen the effects of the 7-on-7 change.
And not only that, Bill Thomas, I think what we're going to see is that as the quarters start to tick off and the legs aren't quite as fresh, I think it's going to become a game of mistakes. Who makes a mistake, who makes a wrong turn, and whoever has the freshest legs, whoever has the best game plan and doesn't make those mistakes, I think is really going to capitalize as this game wanes on.
Not only to trade emails with both coaching staffs before this one. And both Michelle Pasquale of Westborough and Beth Field of Leominster, both mentioning when talking about the games, this 7-on-7 action. Coach Pasquale of Westborough says it's a very different game when it comes to field hockey and a 7-on-7, and I think we've seen that through 1 quarter of play. And a similar thought comes from Coach Field from Leominster, where she talks about the 7-on-7 rule. She said it requires player cover much more field, and the key point she notes is all while wearing a mask, which certainly hasn't made anything easier. That includes, by the way, calling play-to-play. I'm really sure that's
open to
so
debate,
happy
but
with this.
I'm feeling the effects. I think I need more timeouts built into my
Did
contract.
Todd just say it's hard for him to talk?
It is. I got to tell you. All right. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm a major supporter of this and the public safety aspect of things, and I'm glad to be out at a field in case that hasn't been covered enough in the last few minutes. But I can't lie, it is a little more complicated than I would like. Great to have all of you with us. Of course, we welcome our fans joining us from across central Massachusetts, all across the Midland Wachusett League, and here streaming Facebook Live on Rivalry Family Media, facebook.com/Media Rivalry. Push that link out there. All games available throughout this Fall 1 season here at historic Doyle Field. Same day delay, 9 p.m. always, and then on demand to follow on YouTube, where you can look up Rivalry Family Media and subscribe if you want a direct link right there. tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry takes right to our channel.
That's impressive.
Second 15 minutes up on the board, and Kate, we've had some great action all week long.
Oh gosh, all week long it's been fantastic. I mean, just being able to see live sports in person, super spoiled right now that we're able to come in here and do this.
Have the opportunity, I agree,
Yep.
the privilege, and
take that,
taking
yeah.
advantage of it for sure and enjoying every minute of it.
Because, I mean, think about this. There, in some cases, half of these young ladies' families aren't even allowed to be here. So we'll take the opportunity, and it is a privilege to be able to be out here and cover these ladies.
And that's why when offered the opportunity to be involved in this, we at Rivalry Family Media thought two things. We support the student-athlete experience, and we support our community. We're so happy to be here and be involved and support this endeavor, which is not easy. As if vacation in a COVID environment isn't difficult enough, offering education-based athletics can't possibly be more difficult under these circumstances. Great credit to all the folks in the Midland Wachusett League. They've all worked tremendously well together in supporting each other and figuring out how to make this work in a difficult environment.
I had 2 words when you called me, Todd, where and when. And I'm happy.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Leominster with possession here. Just a minute gone by in quarter 2. We're knotted at 1.
My response was, wait, how many games? See, that's
Well,
the retiree perspective from Billy.
Yeah, I was already committed before I had that part of the information. And we're adding as we go, too.
That's
I
right.
have
Absolutely. On the restart, right around the 20-yard line, ball pushed back to around the 25. It's Constant to drive it in with a little backhand stick action there, and it was poked away by the Rangers and Emma Hung. Hung trying to clear her zone. Now stepping up in there is MIAA.
MIAA doing a nice job to fight for that ball.
Howlett had it knocked back. MIAA now tries to drive it in from the right wing side. Wasn't able to do it. Ball pops up back and forth right along the 15-yard line. And close quarters there. The contact on the foot and the ball back to the Rangers, who have some room down that left wing on the restart. 13-10 to play here in the second quarter, and the Rangers have gone out in front. Leominster able to recover from behind, and stepping in with the ball is Constant.
Leominster doing a nice job consistently thus far through one quarter defensively. Anytime you see Westborough start to streak to the offensive end of the field, Leominster Blue Devil defense just being really aggressive and taking back possession. And
Leominster there tried to go backward in order to go forward and put it in the hands of Latanzio with lots of room down the right side of the field. Tries to reverse action, runs in, and then a play-on signal, and now a whistle will kill the action, and they'll get an opportunity there for a 25-yard hit. Oh, they pushed him back just to the 20.
I was
going to say, now back to the 20.
I'm trying to steal 5 yards.
I'm pretty confident that was a 25-yard signal.
It's all good.
Here we go, Latanzio. Whiffed on the first opportunity, but kept the ball alive. Nice recovery there. Moves the ball to the middle of the field and try to step through a double team. Leominster able to poke it away, at least momentarily, and now flick it forward to clear their zone. It's Howlett. Howlett out in front of Rangers trying to recover back on their horse. They will get out in front of Howlett, who has to turn the tide toward the right sideline. Howlett advances it forward, cross the 20. Ball flipped back. Nice job there. Looked like Riestma, I believe, over on the far side. Nope, check it. And the ball ends up out of bounds. A full exchange at midfield. Leominster sends 3 on.
Changes.
Yes, indeed. And Latanzio will get spelled a little bit on the Rangers side.
I'm telling you, fresh legs as we go through. Having these wholesale changes, both sides of the ball, going to be key as we continue into the later quarters.
And that's, of course, how you reduce the number of players on the field. You have deeper benches, which means more opportunities, more waves, if you will. As Leominster tries the centering pass, nobody home on the left wing to drive the ball in from left side. Now trying to get alive along the left sideline with 11:11 to play here in the second quarter. Leominster will pull it loose. It was Santucci looking to try to find some help from Howlett, just out of her reach, cross the end line, left of Cage, and the ball back to the Rangers.
You know, and another comment on the 7-on-7, Todd. You might think it's cutting opportunities for some of these players, but it might actually be increasing the opportunities because there's more substitution and there's more action. I think we might even see increased playing time for a larger group of players.
Miller will turn the tide away momentarily from Hemmel. And now pulled back forward. Amasis. Now with great Dallaire flying down the left wing off a change. And the pocket pick stepping there. Fredman defending right in front of her keeper. And then gets the foot contact. Now the restart. Puts it long of Dallaire, who will recover back into the play. Gray Dallaire will move the ball forward for Diametris. Stepping across. Nice job working from shoulder to shoulder there was Fredman. And now the contact. They say the ball back to Leominster. Work for naught as Miller will have the opportunity from the 20. Poked away there. You heard it, Bill Thomas. I thought your reaction perfect.
I thought that was going to be a breakaway.
The opportunity to break it and just didn't.
Talk about stepping in the passing lane. That was a perfect job by the defender there.
Dallaire has it steered away from him by Hung. He stays on top of it. Continues to bat, and then the whistle for the contact, and it will be Ranger ball.
I got to forget I'm mic'd up today. The first couple of games I was doing this. Not to be disrespectful. It was like
cogent commentary
it was
from
almost
Bill
like,
Thomas.
oh no. You know, I'm thinking to myself.
Driven a little long toward the sideline. Elric couldn't pick up the ball from Fredman, and it will cross the sideline. The ball back to Leominster with 9:15 to play here in the second quarter.
Sometimes my parental instincts come out.
It is, of course, senior night here at historic Doyle Field as well.
Right.
Coming up at halftime, 10 seniors as part of this Leominster program. 7 of them started the night tonight. The rest have been folded in as the action has continued for Coach Beth Field. Ball poked forward. Rangers moving the ball to field in the hands of Hamill. Hamill has it poked back away for Elric. Elric down left wing. Leominster tried to move it forward on that right wing side, couldn't do it. MIAA tried to get there, couldn't. A little help from Russo as well, seeing some action and not able to steer it away. Russo watches the ball go by. Santucci there covering her back, tries to turn the ball upfield again, not able to do it as the Rangers stay on it, and it's Elric. Ball pops loose for Diametris. Working with Dallaire, crossing midfield. Leominster 2-on-2 down the field, trying to scramble back in or some more Rangers.
Needed a leading pass to go to Dallaire there, and not able to get it done is Diametris on that.
Is it possible to say with this much space, too close together?
Yeah.
Maybe just a little too
he's
close. Popped loose for Dallaire. He sees right corner and drives it home. And Leominster is on the board again.
Nice center and pass, getting down low. Make sure he's got that solid shot off. Good job right there.
Public address announcer Dick Tucker in the building tonight. I know he's happy to be back out here for his 42nd year. He'll correct me on this, but it was his 42nd year here at historic Doyle Field, and he's got that Boston Bruins air horn for every scored goal as well.
I got to tell you, I don't know the girl that made that rush down that right side right there, but she made that play. How hard is that going to be to control that? Basically running a full speed, bent over, a short stick, and great job getting that ball into the offensive zone.
I believe they gave the assist to Santucci, so it was Dallaire from Santucci. As on the restart, Leominster starts the drive. Once again, it's Diametris. Cross sticks there, 7:45 to go here, quarter two. Leominster with the 2 advantage. Santucci maintains her balance, but drives it into a trio of Rangers.
She's all over the pitch. Did we call it a pitch similar to soccer?
Pitch, field, match, game, whatever it is, we're glad to be here.
Learning on the fly.
Indeed. There's a whistle for the cross sticks, and the ball will go to Leominster.
Now, are the girls playing with shin pads on with the
Yes.
soccer? Shin pads?
They're a little bit thicker, I would say. Well, we mentioned Dick Tucker. Mike Griffin here with us as well.
More cogent commentary from the booth.
The man in charge here at historic Doyle Field of all clock operations, and his exact quote, I think, is right on the money. They sure better be. I know this much about the ball. It is hard. It is plastic coated. You think about a lacrosse ball, it's really hard in rubber. This is not really hard in rubber. This is hard,
really hard
plastic.
Really hard.
I mean, this is hard plastic.
And I'm guessing those sticks, the wood's kind of hard too.
I have no doubt, or whatever synthetic material has been invented, yes. Yeah. Santucci gets back into the play, turns the action back upfield. It's Diametris stepping between 2 Rangers, and then the ball got back, into her feet. She was able to keep the ball alive, however. Sets up Fife. The drive wide to the left and across the end line. Santucci tried to chase it down and couldn't. Ball back to the Rangers as we wind under 6 minutes to play here in quarter two with Leicester the 2-1 advantage.
Leominster doing a great job from that right side of the field. A number of good centering scoring chances there. 2 goals plus probably another half a dozen solid chances.
Parker working shoulder to shoulder with Tarzia. And now joining the fray there, that was Martell. Martell was able to poke it forward, but trying to recover back on the play is Madeline Parker. Battle along the 45-yard line, Leominster side of midfield. And a nice job there. On her horse, it's Michelle Hung. Hung sprints down the left side, crossing along the hash mark area, if you will, with the football field motif. And then into her feet comes the ball, and back to Leominster goes possession. Gasparo flicks it across midfield. She's able to catch up to it down the left wing and overran it. Got back to it, and the ball was steered away smartly there by Hackett. Turning the action, Santucci. Santucci pulls the ball into the right wing. Now chips it forward and catches up to it. She's working down the middle field with Gasparo. Tries to center to Gasparo. Stepping in between there was Desmond for the Rangers, and then got tripped up on the play, so Desmond will get the free hit. 4.5 minutes to play, quarter 2, 2-1 Leominster's lead on a beautiful night here at Doyle Field. Battle along that right sideline, and Leominster gets whistled. That was Marchetti. On the restart, Desmond flicked it to Marchetti. Marchetti was able to reverse the tide, and now the battle ensues. Ends up forward in the hands this time of Michelle Hung. We know she's quick down that left side of the field. She just needed some open space. Has to work the ball backwards. And now a stalemate there. Last contact, that was a Leominster foot. Rangers on the restart. Forward it goes, squirts loose, middle of the field, Gasparo. Gasparo out in front of the charge, couple of Rangers in front. She'll poke it forward.
Oh, a nice steal there.
Yeah, indeed there was. Looked like Constant was the one trying to get to the loose ball, or at least catch up to it.
And Ashley Soap from the Westborough Rangers on that steal.
Nice pick up there, Kate, and the contact, the Rangers end up with it in their feet. The ball goes back to Leominster. Battle along the midfield. It's Elric. Loose ball now to Parker. And Parker tries to turn the tide, knocked in there by Desmond. The play on signal, and a high pop fly.
First time we've seen that.
Takes a shin-high hop.
Interesting pass.
Indeed.
Those should come with sound effects.
And now Desmond.
Now, can you toss it in there and then whack it like a baseball?
No,
No.
that would be dangerous. The drive coming across the center, it was, who else? Latanzio. And she got the left side of the cage, the end line, ball back to Leominster. Whenever you see a sudden quick dart in the middle of the field, it's Latanzio. She makes her presence known. She's on the field. As we wind under 2.5 minutes toward halftime.
It is painfully quiet in this
I
stadium.
know, it is difficult.
People keep turning around and looking at you.
Kate's not used to being the only one they notice. After years of calling action for teams of variety of quality at the college level, I will tell you, you get used to it. Forward it goes Gasparo.
Need my invisibility cloak.
And now Sokup. Sokup and Gasparo, and the foul against Leominster, and so it'll be Ranger ball as we wind now under 2 minutes toward halftime.
Well, they didn't have to bring a radio to get the play-by-play, so it's all good.
That's a good deal. That's our partners over at WPKZ,
All
the
right.
K-Zone. I know
We'll be
they
back with
can't
them
wait
soon.
until the action comes their way as well. And we can get it out
Absolutely.
on the radio as well. Latanzio steps across a passing lane, tried to pick it up and then turn the tide, was never able to quite get a fork into it. And so the ball continues to bounce toward the near side. Drubbed forward
was-
there,
yeah.
and now the whistle called against. It was a dangerous play
I'm
across the front of
surprised-
Leominster by
surprised
Fielder.
We don't see that. You know, it's been very safe game up to this point.
Used to see it a lot, Bill Thomas, when they played it on grass. This turf has been a great equalizer of this sport. Shot is wide of the net as Howlett got some space, got the room with the stick, but caught the right side of the cage. As we wind toward the final minutes here of the first half. Come up at the half, we'll break down this first half of action, then we'll step aside and come right back in a matter of a blink for you with second half action here on Rivalry Family Media.
And we have senior night festivities as well.
Yes,
Don't forget it.
That's right, Kate. We will. We'll have those
Don't
senior night
you forget
festivities
it.
for you. And then the start of the second half, all coming up here from Doyle Field on what's a great night.
Do you think they'll do like homecoming at a soccer game?
You know, it's entirely possible. Howlett with the shot. It was deflected across the end line. What you just did there, Kate, was you just threw out an idea. The question is, can the student council on the other side catch it? That's the thought.
Do you know that, speaking of student council, Leominster High School, it is one, I believe, today, is Mr. Chuck Rooney's 40th, the big 4-0 birthday.
Uh-oh.
So,
He'll appreciate your calling it out.
I'm sure he won't, but his wife called it out.
I was going to say, I'll certainly note that Kelly appreciated it.
Kelly will like that.
As the final seconds here, Leominster on the drive side of the cage, and whistles kill the action. Leominster not able to finish on the doorstep, but at halftime, they enjoy the 1-goal lead. Leominster 2 and Westborough 1 through one half here at Doyle Field. Going to wait a second here, see if those halftime festivities come right up or if they're going to meet first.
They're going to talk.
All right, so they're going to talk first. That'll be a good cue for us to take a break. We'll step aside. We'll be back with senior night festivities here from Doyle Field. Halftime score. Leominster 2 and Westborough 1. This is Rivalry Family Media.
Halftime at historic Doyle Field here on Rivalry Family Media. Happy to have you back with us here on our Sounds of the Game. Remember, you're seeing this game in same-day delay action from earlier on today at historic Doyle Field, presented with the sights and sounds just the way you would have seen them from the stands at historic Doyle Field. We invite you to continue to be a part of our family as action continues throughout the year. More information on the schedule available, facebook.com/Media Rivalry, on Twitter @Media Rivalry, as well as on YouTube, search Rivalry Family Media. Games available on demand along with the rest of this season and seasons gone by as well. Any of the action here on Rivalry Family Media can be found at your leisure on demand on YouTube. We'll get you back out to second half action as we continue here on Rivalry Family Media.
Second half of action ready to commence here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, happy to have you along with us. Halftime, a little bit more abbreviated. Both coaches, 5 minutes was sufficient for them. So they've moved the senior night activities to the end of the game. So we'll bring those to you here on RFM on the game's end. Meanwhile, keeper change for Leominster. They'll put a new goalie in. Anderson Lair spelled out, Anna Wari in. Defending the cage to our left as the teams change end. Leominster goes left to right here in the second half. And meanwhile, the Rangers will go right to left. And here comes Leominster quickly on their horse. Down the wing, it's Howlett. Howlett with a clear move to the cage. Keeper comes out, kicks it away. Howlett tries to recover, not able to get to it. Nice job by Frogel to move it away.
It's a beautiful save by the keeper for Westborough.
She definitely committed. Came out with 2 feet there.
Ooh,
cut
fun.
down the angle.
I love the maneuver to bring the ball up. That's Elric. About the third time she's done that tonight. Tried to create some space. You don't have to worry about tripping over it if you're just carrying it on your stick. Rangers on a 3-on-1 moving down the field, and it's Latanz leading the charge. Latanzio will move it forward, looking on the right side for Rietsma.
Some fun names on both sides.
Absolutely. Leominster able to get to it there and turn the tide away, at least momentarily, with Miller.
Hopefully we're not butchering them.
I doubt it. That's right.
Say it with gusto.
Have I lost Bill Thomas?
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I know. We're
Am I not on?
Oh, there you are. I was going to say. I'm like, Billy, I know I could hear you, but I don't know that I could hear you. There we go. That's
Maybe
better.
I'm talking too softly, if that's possible.
Rangers have their pocket pick, and Leominster looks to move it forward. It was Howlett looking to center. Trying to get back to it was Howe, and she couldn't. But the drive was knocked down there by Sokup. Soka pushes back into the pack. Now she herself steps across the 25-yard line, but Leominster keeps moving it forward. It's Miller. Miller working down the middle of the field. With the ball poked back, the big drive wide of the net high. It was Santucci, I believe. Yes, it was. She got her stick free and with some room and kind of had that neat kind of closed back drive and was kind of able to drive it wide of net right, not able to get some help to keep it in play.
Although off target, impressive contact.
Indeed. Leominster knocks the ball down with Marchetti, but move it forward there is Fredman. Middle of the field, put back the other way. Santucci. Santucci moves it forward for Howlett. And now the shot.
Save.
Nice double knee save there by Frogel. And the loose ball comes over toward the left wing, where Mahui will get control. Nope, check it. That was Tarzia. Ball poked back up the middle of the field. Flicked back forward by Santucci. She will run there. Yeah, past Martell. And then forward to Howlett. Howlett tried to steer it to the middle of the field. Rangers kept it alive along the end line. They were going to get the benefit of the whistle, had it cross the end line. Instead, they keep it alive. Howlett centers there, middle of the field. Howe caught in a pack, could not get the angle to poke it toward cage, and forward it goes. The Rangers will chase it out of their own end. Tarzia's got left wing,
nice
but a
steal
nice steal there indeed, Kate, for Marchetti. Marchetti in the battle there with Martell, and Leominster with the foot contact, ball back to the Rangers.
Keep lacking you, I'm sorry. I gotta let you do the play-by-play there and
No
not
worries.
walk
Hey,
all over you.
now you know how I feel during football.
7 months and 3 days. It's been a while. We're all together. Frogel, shoulder-to-shoulder contact.
Nice.
The ball bounced loose, and Leominster able to poke it home. It looked like from the ground there. I'm trying to get the number
it's
on the
10.
far side. It did. It looked like Cheska
I think it
Howe.
was 10, yeah.
What a beautiful shot.
From the ground. Nice job staying with it.
Talk about determination.
She's getting the high fives, so that's 10.
Indeed it is. It's Francesca Howe with the goal. Yes, the official signal from the officials to give the assist to Howlett. There was a body contact between Frogel, the goalkeeper, and I believe it was Howe, and Howe went down to the seat of her pants and was able to drive the ball in while sitting on the ground. That's determination.
I'll just make
and
one,
a 3-1 Leominster
one
lead.
little correction. The seat of her skirt.
Okay, fair enough.
Kilt.
I mean, technically now they've evolved past the kilt a little bit. Would we go with skort here?
That's true. Todd always on point with the fashion.
I do my
the
best.
fashion rapport.
Leominster with the home white tops, white bottoms,
There it
trimmed in
comes.
royal blue with the royal blue numerals front and back.
Always a treat from you.
And Blue Devils in the block varsity lettering across the chest. Rangers, meanwhile, wearing the road, we want to call this maroon or raspberry.
It's definitely not raspberry.
Top and bottom, white block numerals
Cranberry,
front and back.
maybe.
Cranberry, okay, I'll go with that.
Maybe.
Rangers across the uniform for Westborough.
It's been a while since Todd's been able to use his definitions and colors.
Indeed.
Colors.
A crossing pass across the front of the cage, not able to get it across the end line. Ball back to the Rangers, 10-15 to play here in the third quarter. A 3-1 Leominster lead, and another scoring opportunity there for the Rangers just goes by the boards.
One of my favorite things thus far about the teams is that when Dick Tucker over the PA announces who the goals are scored by, there's a secondary celebration by the Leominster Blue Devils. I love that.
Very ice hockey-esque when you get the second cheer of the crowd.
So great.
When the PA comes in with
Yeah,
the
but the
goal announcement.
players are the ones with the celebration.
Absolutely. Hey, generate your own excitement. I mean, if being an
think it's
athlete isn't
great.
difficult enough under these circumstances,
it's
you
absolutely
have to generate
fantastic.
your own buzz in the stadium as well.
Love it.
Play on is the signal. Rangers maintain possession, and now the contact off Leominster. And Latanzio will re-pull the trigger down the right side.
I will say the 7-on-7 action, there are less whistles.
Tried to get it across the cage there. Tough angle. Couldn't get it up front. Could Hamill. And the ball will swing back the other way. Leominster with the room. Flicks it forward. Does Russo. And now Russo moves it forward for Gasparo. Gasparo in transition, crossing the Westborough 45. Now forward cross the 40. Diametris tries to come back to help it out. She will be able to pick it up. Steer it away from a couple of Rangers, crossing the 25. And the Rangers try to knock it down there. It was Emma Hung. Hung got a stick on it, but Leominster moved forward. Continuing with a loose ball to the end line. And it looks like the signal was a Leominster 25-yard drive. Ball will get back to the 25 for the free hit.
Westborough's defense doing yeoman's work to flush that ball out of their own defensive end.
It's Constant. Constant tries to move it to her right, looking for Marchetti. Marchetti has to chase the ball down, battling there with Martell. And now Martell turns the tide up the left wing and poked away there, steering the action away to the sideline was Ariana Constant. Rangers will get to pull the trigger from the sideline here. It was Fredman. But yeah, got picked there by Constant. Constant moves it forward into the hands of Gasparo. Ball poked down there and now steered away by Diametris. Battle continues at the front of the goal mouth. And now the signal for the 25-yard hit. So the foul inside of the box leads to a Leominster drive from the 25. 7:35 to play in the third quarter, and Leominster with the 2-goal advantage. It'll be Constant with the opportunity. She gets some space from the players. Parker will work behind her. They try to set her up toward the sideline. Parker was able to get a stick on it to keep it alive. Pushed back there past Elmrick, and then trying to turn the tide. It was Tarzia. Ends up into the Leominster bench along the sideline. Flicked up into the air there by Parker. Parker tries to find Constant. Constant looks for the centering pass. Got the room, got it into the center. Can Diametris drive it home? She cannot. Nice job in front of the net by Sokup.
Huge scrum of defenders in front of the net.
Parker tries to knock it down to Constant. Constant tried to turn on Cage, couldn't get it there, caught up in traffic. And now moved out by Elmrick. Elmrick crossing the 25 defensively, drives it forward looking for Tarzia leading the break. And now deflected forward for Fielder. And in transition, here come the Rangers from right to left. Leominster's defense trying to scramble back in play. Last person there is Russo. Russo not able to get a stick on it. The drive by Tarzia, steered away by Wari. And then a ball high into the head. And I believe that came after the whistle. No, that did kill the play. So it'll be Leominster ball. 6:05 and counting left here in quarter three. Russo plays it on her own. Forward, nice deflection, middle of the field, looking for Gray Dallaire. Dallaire, the near side right wing, and steered away there by Rangers. Nice job by Steck to slow down Dallaire, who continues though now unimpeded across the 20 with the play on signal. Dallaire had it deflected back, had to go back to the 25 to pick it up. Forward it goes, and Diametris couldn't run it down. Crossed the in-line and the ball back to the Rangers. Brisk, cool night, just passing dusk here at Doyle Field here on RFM, and happy to have you along with us. Varsity field hockey tonight. A week that is capped off by all of Leominster's teams getting to play a home game here at Doyle Field. All of them carried right here on Rivalry Family Media and available for you on demand. You search Rivalry Family Media on YouTube, you will find that game action. Dallaire keeps the ball alive as he flicks it forward, looking for Santucci. Santucci centering, looking for Diametris. Dallaire now tries to scramble back into the play. It was a nice job by Tarzia to turn the tide. Tarzia working on Dallaire, the Rangers trying to poke it away. Dallaire keeps it moving forward into Santucci's possession. Santucci works it toward the middle of the field. Nice job by Howe. Tried to keep it alive by keeping that flat edge, moving it forward. And Tarzia will pick up the loose ball. Now up left wing she goes. And driven back down by Molly Jordan, seeing some of her first action tonight. Emma Hung bouncing back and forth for the Rangers in front of the Blue Devils, attempting to move it down right wing. This is Howlett. Howlett has it deflected away. I think the last touch might have been, or at least at the very least, bothered by Steck for the Rangers. It goes out off of Steck, and so Leominster will get the drive from the 25.
Things slowing down a little bit here
And if
action-wise.
the girls aren't running out of steam a little bit too. A lot of chasing.
We knew that would be a possibility with so many fewer bodies. The amount of just square footage yardage you have to cover out here, all on your own. And you notice that things are starting to bunch up quite a bit more around the middle of the field.
And you have to imagine, too, not the usual fall season with the long double sessions and all of the conditioning time period. It was a couple of weeks of practice, and then play on was the story.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of those instances where if you were not doing your own conditioning independently out of season, you were going to be in a world of hurt when you came into that incredibly short tryout and beginning of the season once Fall 1 was determined eligible by the MIAA. It was one of those ready, set, play.
Frogel was the one that started turning the action on her own right. She made a big kick save, drove the ball out to the right wing, and the Rangers pushed it over midfield, only to have that tide stopped with a ball in their own feet, passing 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. With the drive, it was Santucci. Santucci out of Howlett, and Howlett has her tide stopped. Back the other way go the Rangers. This is Latanzio, up right wing. Latanzio tries to bring it to the center field, crossing that 30-yard line on the football side. Now across the 25, and this is Michelle Hung coming across from the left wing. And Hung has it steered away, at least momentarily. Santucci does a nice job, change her angle, but she lost the handle on it, and the ball ends up to Hung. Hung now finds Latanzio. It to a right angle. Now centering middle of the field. Flicked and deflected over the top of the cage and across the end line. And the effort all for naught. Another great scoring opportunity for the Rangers.
One of the Rangers' best scoring opportunities here in the second half. Up to this point, their offense has been lacking. Wonder if they're getting a little tough on the offensive end.
I was thinking the exact same thing. One of the rare offensive opportunities that they've had, especially in this third quarter. A few of those young ladies out there doing a nice job to try to retain possession in the offensive end.
Here's Latanzio with the drive, and it's wide of the cage left across the end line. The ball back to Leominster. She can turn the action in an instant.
Just missed Hung on that left corner. Breaking to the net.
They certainly have some weapons when they get in the offensive end.
Two big opportunities right there, back to back.
Final 90 seconds of this third quarter. Leominster with the 3-1 lead.
3 unanswered goals here for Leominster. Westborough was the team that started things off in the early going in the first quarter. And again, 3 unanswered goals now for Leominster.
Ball knocked forward. It will move its way to the sweeper, and away it will go off the stick of Russo.
I've got students joining Zoom meetings. It's a long weekend, people.
I was going to say, I'm fairly confident Zoom class is off
over
until Tuesday.
My word.
As we pass the old double nickel, 55 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. No Zoom sessions at this moment.
I know I work hard, but 7 o'clock on a Friday of Columbus Day weekend?
The backhand flick by Latanzio didn't go. Kept alive, middle of the field. She's still battling for it, and indeed Worry has turned 2 away, and now it bounces out to the left wing.
I think I missed my calling. I would have loved to be able to do that.
Santucci gets the flick on from Howlett, and it's Howlett working her way down the left wing, joined by Howe, and in control was Santucci up the middle of the field, and now the action turned away. A nice job there. Stepping up on play was Fredman. She was that sweeper, the last kind of ditch defender before you get to the goalkeeper, and she swept that one right out. Michelle Hung picks up the action, middle of the field, cross the 40, but Santucci's able to move it past her as time expires in the third quarter. 3 quarters in the books here from historic Doyle Field. Leominster 3, Westborough 1 through 3 quarters of this Friday night battle in fall season 1.
I like that the teams go out to the keepers so the keepers don't have to run all the way to them.
Absolutely. I mean...
Oh, now they're coming back.
Leominster keeper did a great job there in that quarter, shutting out Westborough after they scored the first goal of the game. As you know, Leominster did a good job bouncing back.
And they'll come over to the near sideline for a conversation with Coach Beth Field, who really did want to kind of emphasize the positivity of having this many seniors in the program. 10 total seniors that will be recognized tonight. A lot of the names you've heard us calling throughout these first three quarters. Sarah Diametris, Jacqueline Mayette, Liza Howlett,
Take your time.
Emily Oliveira, Francesca Howe, Molly Jordan, Mia Russo, Allison Gabriel, and Anderson Dallaire, all seniors. 10 of them total on this roster for the Blue Devils on their senior night. Yeah, could you tell I was having a little trouble parsing all of those?
You're good.
A little different, tonality and different names than we're used to calling in some of our other action.
That's good. New blood.
Hey,
I like it.
By a point of comparison, by the way, for the Rangers, looks like they similarly have about 8-10 seniors. Caroline White, Audrey Sokup, who we talked about a little bit, has been on the defensive end. Jasmine Rivas, Emily Bruck, Sam Martell, Emily Hung, Michelle MIAA, Michaela Rietzma, and Gabby Lassoff and Caitlin Tarzia, two captains there, 23 and 25, to round out that list. So maybe I misestimated a little bit, maybe more like 12 seniors on the other
happy
end.
senior night to all of them.
Happy senior night to all here at historic Doyle Field, and a great action represented. A lot of those names out tonight.
I'm thinking that those seniors are just thrilled that they have, although an abbreviated season, that they are out here and that they are playing.
I don't think there's any question about that. I think the hardest,
because there are a lot of areas in Massachusetts that are not participating in
not
Fall
able to
One.
participate. We just saw Worcester Public Schools this week announcing that they will not be. Yes, a lot of the technical high schools have chosen to forego Fall 1, move all of their fall sports into Fall 2. We won't debate on this program the decision making. We will just give the credit to the athletic directors and departments all across Midwatch. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Phenomenal work working together to figure out if you were going to make this work, it was going to take a monumental administrative effort from these athletic directors, and great credit to them for finding ways to make it work, and then the players and coaches for delivering on it. Leominster with a great scoring opportunity to start the fourth quarter, steers wide of the cage, right and back to the Rangers.
And the point that you make here is that it is just how dependent everybody really truly is. Although you could have fierce rivalries, and in the Midwatch, I mean, obviously in Leominster we talk about Fitchburg a lot, but in this case, Leominster not part of the Fitchburg cohort for Fall 1, and so you have athletic directors really having to get together and, for the good of the league, make those decisions. And as you said, an admirable job. There's a lot of extra work going on, so nicely done all around. Tip of the cap to everybody that's putting in extra time and effort.
Fielder tried to run down the loose ball, but it was Elizabeth Del Judas who got to it first and turned the tide into the feet. Indeed.
That's a name we know.
Down left side of the field, trying to keep the ball alive. It was Marchetti. Marchetti steals it up the left wing, moves it forward for Diametris. Diametris trying to find the center, not able. Whistle from behind the play. 13:40 to play here, fourth quarter. Leominster's possession continues. Just a sliver of contact there keeps the ball in Leominster's possession only momentarily until it catches a foot and the ball back to the Rangers.
Todd, you missed an interesting one yesterday when you were talking about the whistles. Yesterday, we had so many chainsaws going because of the trees that were lost here. No one in the stadium could hear the whistles. Finally, the people taking down the trees had to stop so that the players and the officials and the coaches, so people could actually hear what was going on. All you could hear were chainsaws.
And I appreciate how hard the forestry department or the city of Leominster has been working over the last 24, 48 hours, trying to get all of these trees that were down. Two large ones that were located between the upper and lower fields came down into the lower bowl. It's taken out large sections of fencing.
And
ball
those
hits
trees,
the side of the cage and out of bounds, and now Leominster loses possession once again. Go ahead.
Those trees likely planted, 1932, with the creation of the upper and the lower field complex.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'm betting.
You're not thinking that maybe that might have changed a little bit with the most recent renovation?
With those trees?
Those trees?
No way.
Okay, all right.
No way. That I'll guarantee you.
Fair enough. I'm just saying.
That I'll guarantee you.
I'm just saying.
The flagpole might be recent, but the trees, I think, have been there a while.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm going to say
all I know is I was stunned to see them lying on their side when I was down here yesterday.
Well, a very vulnerable spot there on the edge of the hill, open to the wind. So testament that only two of them went down, I think.
One over at the tennis courts as well here on this athletic complex. drive from Jacqueline Mayette hit the side of the cage. And so the ball will go back to the Rangers unless there was some contact here, which they're going to say there was. So Leominster's going to get an opportunity for a 25-yard drive from left to right. Faked one way, goes the other, does Constant, and it's steered away. And the Rangers will flick it on forward. That's Fielder. Turned immediately, though, right back in Leominster's favor by Constant.
It was a nice job by Marchetti to be able to get back into that play and get possession back for the Blue Devils.
Angle turned, Howlett with the shot, splits the 5-hole of Frogel and rattles the back of the cage, and Leominster's lead expands to 3 at 4-1.
Nice job right there.
You said that's Howlett?
It was Howlett indeed.
Howlett or soak up? I'll have to see on the official. Might have been soak up, number 4. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Westborough.
I was going to say, look at the right
I'm looking
roster,
at the
Bill
wrong
Thomas.
roster.
It was
You're
for
right, Howlett.
Eliza Howlett, the senior, from
Looking at the wrong roster.
Sarah Diametris with the assist.
I told you, expect me to multitask. You know,
And Bill
I want
Thomas.
to get paid double if I'm going
Hey,
to make double the mistake.
Here on Rivalry Family Media, small shop, small operation, cook, cleaner, and bottle washer, one own and only Bill Thomas, operating camera and operating colorful insights as always as
Streaking
well.
See, I
Latanzo,
didn't put my notation on the.
Latanzio comes
Screens
right
the way I
back down
should.
off the restart into the grill of Worry, who has to defend her own cage. And then, oh my, upended on the play was Latanzio. That was some strong physical contact. A 25-yard drive coming for the Rangers, and Latanzio certainly earned it with that effort.
That is blank or tea kettle.
Yes,
That's what I'm going
indeed.
to say right there.
Head over.
Yes, one head over tea kettle. My.
Offensive flow right there
goodness.
after that other goal.
Latanzio literally taking that from mid-pitch all the way in. She was determined to keep that into the offensive zone.
Diametris steers it away from Elmrick, who was kind of dawdling with it a little bit at the 25, and Elmrick will move and lose possession to Diametris. Diametris will now fling it forward, cross the 25, 10:45 play here in the fourth. Leominster with a 4-1 lead. Rangers stop the momentum, now flick it back the other way, and there's Latanzio. Johnny on the spot, middle of the field at the 50. Tries to move it forward, looking for Tarzia, who was the long messenger downfield, but Latanzio's action was stopped. She stayed on the play, though. Now Latanzio in the middle of 4 Blue Devils, drives it on Worry, who kicks it away.
Big kick save.
I
right
will
there.
say every time I see that kick save when they have that big windup, that is dangerous.
But a phenomenal
I mean, I
use
get
of
it.
the
It's
pad.
huge.
Yes.
It's clearly key. I wouldn't want to miss.
Rangers battling it back. Worry thwarts the action again on Latanzio.
I think I'd be the sole butterfly goalie in field hockey.
But one thing I noticed, the
block.
goalie doesn't have a glove.
Nope, no,
Like-
it's a flat foam pad.
Like hockey, so all it can do is bat the ball away.
Here's our secondary celebration after the Leominster Blue Devil goal.
Back down on the field, it's Elmrick, who's going to have the restart drive at the 25. Signal to begin play. Into the teeth of the Leominster defense, and they'll turn the ball away. Ends up in Diametris' possession. She'll take it over midfield. And now on forward, she finds Fife. Fife in the middle of the field, and a nice job stepping up on that play was French. Seeing some of her first action tonight. Nope, check it. That was Height. Height will steer it to the sideline. It was latched by Leominster, and so the Rangers, the beneficiaries of possession with Fredman. Fredman flicked on toward midfield, hurdled top up by Diametris, coming over for the change, and he'll trade positions with Gasparo. Flurry of action over here in front of benches, right around that midfield stripe on the possession change. Leominster takes it down left wing, looking to center there. It was Santucci, and they'll whistle for the contact, and so ball back to the Rangers.
Take a quick peek at the clock. over
Indeed,
here.
8.5
Swing
minutes to
on.
play there, Bill Thomas.
Don't get dizzy, people.
4-1 hour lead for Leominster here on Rivalry Family Media.
Close your eyes. We're swinging right back around.
Indeed, and here we go.
Whoop, there comes the action.
And Latanzio right into your living room, across the 40-yard line. Deflected down, loose ball, and she was bothered from behind there. It was Emma Miller who got into the area of Latanzio, and they're going to blow that whistle, and Latanzio is going to have the drive from the 25-yard line.
More wholesale changes coming up here for the Blue Devils. Really impressed by both coaching staff taking advantage of the free substitution here and really doing a great job putting in personnel.
Drive on Cage, missed the first time. Second one kicked away. Third one kicked away. Worry staying on possession there in front of the firing squad in front of the Cage. And now the attempt or the drive for Tarzia, and that goes wide right, and the ball signaled back to Leominster. There was a heck of a lot of hand signals there, but bottom line, Leominster gets the ball.
And I got to tell you, on that substitution on the fly, Leominster only had 4 girls back there on defense, and Westborough reset that play, and big advantage right there on the reset, waiting for the rest of the Leominster girls to get involved.
They got caught in the shift change,
Exactly.
Bill Thomas, caught in the shift change.
Latanzio on the restart picks it away from Leominster, not able to move it away. Now Latanzio takes it middle of the field, front of the Cage, backhand shot, back of the Cage. And the Rangers are on the board once again. They cut that Leominster lead in half to 4-2.
Nice job right there. Typical hockey shot, lifting it over the goalie's outstretched arm. Sick.
It's Latanzio unassisted, 7-4 to play here in the fourth quarter, and the lead once again down to just 2. I can see a potential strategy developing here. Latanzio comes to be spelled over to the near sideline here with about 7 minutes to play, but I could see a feed Latanzio coming up here in the waning moments of this one.
And we talked about it with 4 bodies on the field. If you have an athlete that is really going to be able to take advantage of that, they can take over the game because not going to be 22 bodies on the pitch to get into the way and bring in congestion. You certainly can't double team her with the amount of bodies that are out there. And so, as you said, these teams are going to figure out as the games go on, it's going to be feed your best player, and then they could potentially take over a ball game.
22 players typically on a pitch. Just 14 right now. 7 aside, each required to have a goalkeeper, which means it's 6 side outplaying across a 100-yard field. There's a lot of wide open space is what that math tells me.
Right, and I think to your point, conditioning and skill rise to the top, I think, in these conditions.
And I really do think it's going to highlight those premier athletes on each team because you can carry a game. I do think it brings some of the team aspect away, and it's a very different tactical philosophy out there because you really can take over a game.
Rangers turn the tide, cross the Leominster 25. Bothered from behind, but continuing to play it on, it was Hung. And now the whistle as the Rangers were called out of position, so it's Leominster ball, and Russo will have the restart from the 15, 5.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. And Russo will drive forward toward Gasparo on the left wing, crossing midfield. Now overruns it, and the whistle, it was a play-on signal. So Leominster had possession. The Rangers had made the first false move, if you will, and Leominster now gets the beneficiary of the whistle. Santucci drives it forward, Gasparo. Gasparo steered aside along the left sideline. Chips it forward, looking there for Miller. Miller tries to turn the angle, middle of the field, couldn't do it. Gasparo, as it's knocked down, tries to drive back on Cage and can't. Loose ball to Santucci, and the signal would typically be for a corner on a defensive penalty. Instead, it will be this 25-yard drive for Santucci. If you're a huge fan of field hockey, I've been watching it for years, as Santucci on the restart was looking for Parker and threw it toward the sideline to nobody in particular. If you're used to those penalty corners, that's one of the items that the Field Hockey Committee at the MIAA level decided to put aside during this COVID-adjusted game. Those penalty corners, I mean, to me, it's the most famous parts of field hockey. The things that you can think of, the players lining up across that arc in front of the cage and then set piece coming in from the sideline with, a different person usually getting the ball. Leominster works the ball to the middle of the field, and Howlett will drive it to the back of the cage, and Leominster restores their 3-goal lead at 5-2, 4:10 to play in the fourth quarter.
Good work right there, getting that ball in the center, and Howlett just digging away at it, finds a way to get it between the keeper's legs, it looked like.
And that's her second goal of the quarter for the Lady Blues.
Although the number of penalty corners, they
26.
give 26. Emma Miller the assist, so it's Howlett from Miller 4:10 play here in the fourth quarter. So they may have done away with penalty corners, but the creation of space has certainly allowed more opportunity. So although typically you get closer on the penalty, here get moved farther away, you drive the ball in, gets more momentum going, allows some things to bounce around, it pops loose, an opportunity to put a goal in. That's what Leominster does there off the stick of Howlett.
Nice freedom of movement right now.
Absolutely. Back downfield, it's Tarzia, got a hook on it, and steered it wide of the cage right as the Rangers were able to pop it out ahead of the pack. As we're under 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter, 5-2 Leominster's lead.
Ooh, nice.
Latenzio knocks it down, and a whistle. It caught a Leominster foot, so there will be a restart from the 20. And it's Latenzio steering away from Gasparo. Check it constant. Driven on cage. It was behind Worry. Great job by the sweeper to come in on the backside and steer it away.
That just hung there on the goal line waiting for a stick. Luckily, it was a Leominster stick.
I'm waiting to see a number come up here as it was a huge goal-saving defensive play made by Leominster. I believe it was Miller who came in from the left wing. Meanwhile, Howlett loses her footing, but she was able to move it forward to Howe. Howe has it steered away from behind, and now Miller scrambles back into the play. Rangers trying to move it out of the zone. It's Tarzia. Miller recovers. Miller pokes it forward through Howlett. Finds the left side of the cage.
Hat trick.
In the quarter.
That's a real one in a row. Show a hat trick right there.
2:49 to play in the fourth. 6-2 Leominster's lead, and off the stick once again of Eliza Howlett on senior night.
That's like a royal flush.
Indeed.
What a great way to celebrate senior night. Scoring 4 goals. 3 goals.
And give Miller the assist once again. Do not adjust your sets. You did not just see a replay. That was Howlett from Miller twice in a row.
Howlett's feeling it tonight.
Latenzio picked it up on the restart, tried to carry it forward on her stick, lost possession. Ball back for Tarzia, and Tarzia runs it back down, but going the wrong way downfield. Now has to try to turn the tide of the action back, going from right to left. Gets the benefit of a Leominster foot, and so the Rangers get an opportunity with the drive. Cross midfield, knocked back down there by Constant, sent back into the zone. Squirts loose for Gray Dallaire. Dallaire past one defender, now the sweeper steers it away, at least temporarily, does Friedman. Ball caught in a pile, Dallaire turns, kicked away there by Frogel. Still in front of the cage, trying to battle it out for the Rangers there. They will successfully get it clear for Martel. Can Martel clear the zone? She's moved it out past the 20, now the 25, and at least the danger ends for the moment. Loose ball comes to Latenzio. Latenzio past one Blue Devil defender. With just one more to go, it's Russo. Russo in front of Worry. With Latenzio there, but from behind, and a whistle, and Latenzio will have the 25-yard drive.
Almost seemed they took the advantage away from Westborough there by blowing the whistle. You think in an advantageous position, they'd let a little play on seep into the game right there.
I think it was the physical contact, is her physical momentum was stopped. Elmerick will scoop it up to herself, keep it alive, and Dallaire plays it away momentarily until whistle comes for the foot contact. Final minute and 10 seconds here of the fourth quarter. A flurry of scoring here. Remember, we were knotted at 1 at halftime. Elmerick, the drive down the middle of the field.
2-1 at half.
Oh, 2-1, excuse me. Yes, it was. You are absolutely right, Kate. It was 1-1 at the end of one quarter. 2-1 Leominster at halftime. 50 seconds to play here in quarter 4. And the foul called against the Rangers will give Leominster the opportunity to try to drive it away. Hung keeps it alive, middle of the field, but then she stepped across a defender in Dallaire. 30 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, oh, no doubt about it. An uphill battle to say the least, but a great job by Hung to keep it alive.
She's happy.
Indeed. Now forward it goes for Sokup. 20 seconds to play here in the fourth. Sokup drives it forward.
Nice dribble.
Indeed. Through Latenzio, and can't get a stick
doing
on the cage.
everything that she can to try to carry this thing across the finish line for the Rangers and try to get it a little bit closer, because 6-2 differential. I think is a lot larger
final
margin.
seconds come off the board as the Rangers will fall by 4. It's Leominster 6 and Westborough nothing. Final score here, or 2, from Doyle Field. Not able to there, thank you. Not able to score on that last opportunity was the nothing I was thinking of, as they certainly had the position opportunity there, and Latanzio just couldn't close it right at the very end. Thought at least to get it to a 6-3 game. 6-2 our final score, Leominster over Westborough. Both teams, though, although the score might not dictate it, both teams have got to be thrilled with where they were earlier in the week playing their first game, both losing by significant margins to powerhouses in Wachusett and Algonquin. Tonight, both teams come together, play each other, have a great battle here, and Leicester comes out on this 6-2 end, and you got to give the credit to Eliza Howlett in the fourth quarter, putting it out of reach.
And that's what I mean when I'm saying that the score is not indicative of how close this game was for the vast majority of the time that was spent out on the pitch. As you said, literally put this thing on her shoulders, and she just rammed it down the throat of Westborough in the final quarter of this one.
I tell you, I think it was a great game. Nice seeing Leominster's offense come alive there, and nice job by, let's see, let me get this right now. Let me find her. Number 4, Eliza Howlett. Natural hat trick, 3 goals in a row there in that second half.
The new player of the game?
Leading the offense. Do we have to vote?
I don't think a vote is required there, to say the least.
I think this is a memorable senior night for somebody, and I'll let you announce it.
Honorable mention to Emma Miller as well, who set up Eliza Howlett at least 2 and maybe more. But at the very least, the last 2. As you are correct, Bill Thomas, it is senior night here at Doyle Field. I know those festivities are forthcoming. I've seen the flowers. I've seen the gift bags. I saw the great imagery done up front, and that's a great job by the athletic department, booster clubs, and the parents to get this field like this. Under these circumstances, I'll tell you what, great job by the families and the community to support these seniors. I know these senior nights will continue. We hope to be here. We'll be here for all the games, but we certainly hope to be here calling the play-by-play on everybody's senior night. If it works out, that's just how the schedule falls.
Billy and I will be here.
Indeed you will.
Whether or not you'll be speaking is vulnerable.
I'm enjoying this package that you guys have put together, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be involved.
Billy was funny today. He said, Kate, you're going to let Todd talk tonight? Did he do well on his homework? I said, he got 100 on his quiz yesterday. I let him out of the house.
Yeah, you know,
certain parameters.
When you're a teacher and you go back to being a student, that's a whole another ball, so to speak. I've said this privately. I'll say it publicly. I like being on the end where you give the assignments and you assign the work. I'm not so sure I like being back on this other side where people give me deadlines and assignments.
You don't know the answers to the questions.
That's right,
before
ahead of
you
time.
give them out.
That's, yeah, absolutely.
And boy, Billy, does he let me hear it.
I'm sure.
But very lucky to be involved in the master's program at the University of Cincinnati, studying sport administration. So that's where I can appreciate the work these athletic directors are going through.
Excellent soft shoe as we get ready
as we wait for this festivity to come together here. 6-2 was the final, Leominster over Westborough here at Doyle Field, and hopefully we're going to do our very best to be able to hear what's going on down on field. At the very least, we will visually have coverage of this senior night activity. We do have those seniors.
Very technical setup right now.
Well, I mean, let's face it, this is a product of the world we're living in. This is senior night with parents and social distancing and all those components that are trying to come together in some way, shape, or form. You see the players trying to locate their parents, each group trying to kind of find a spot on the field.
And separate.
And maintain their separation. I see public address announcer Dick Tucker wandering this way. I'm hoping with that microphone in hand is going to be able to bring some light to these festivities, or at the very least some public audio that we could pick up along the way. Yes, here we go. All right, so trying to set everything up here. Coordination.
Everybody pick a yard
Hey, we'll
line.
continue to soft shoe here on RFM.
Are we on 10-yard reactions? Is that what we're playing here?
All 12 home games here at historic Doyle Field will be here on RFM. Half of them sounds of the game, just like you are sitting in the stands. Half of them with our signature play-by-play call. All of them available. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for 9 o'clock, same day delay, and then followed up on YouTube on demand. Search Rivalry Fan Media for that action as well. I see scripts out there. I feel like a play is about to take place.
We're going to find out.
I believe the underclassmen all have a script in some component.
And Billy's going to pan
All right, so
every
as soon as
10
we
yards.
know what's going on here, I'm hoping that they're going to announce them. They're at 10-yard line spaces, and we'll get a good idea on who's
I see a lot of hand sanitizer being passed out here. Nice job by Coach Bro, moving her way up the sideline. Sure, everybody has had some hand sanitizer. There we go. COVID senior nights, folks. It's not easy, but I give them great credit for putting it all together. I know for these student athletes, Kate, you made the point earlier. I mean, what an opportunity for them to be able to have this moment. I know there were a lot of graduates of the class of 2020 for that senior spring season that wasn't able to be held at the beginning of all of this, that would have died to play 10 games.
Yes, but not only that, every single senior you see out here didn't get a junior prom last year. Every single senior that you see out here may have had a spring season of lacrosse or softball taken away. And so the smiles they see out there, I'm quite sure they're cherishing every single moment that they have out here to be able to play a team sport, do so healthily, and do it in their given season. I can guarantee you they're not upset by the truncated nature of it, and likely not even upset that there are not going to be a championship opportunity.
That's right.
It's about being out there on the pitch, being with their friends, having the opportunity to play an organized team sport, and just celebrate their high school careers.
Being able to be a part of the community and being able to do what it is. I think for all of us, that's the thing. We caught this during our interview series earlier this year when the height of this was going on, at least at the initial onset, with everybody discussing across the athletic world just what a privilege this is and just how great it is to be able to take part in education-based athletics. And when you have that taken away, all of a sudden, it very much comes into very clear focus just how special these opportunities are, and that, you know, perhaps maybe, I mean, lack of a better way of terming it, Bill Thomas, maybe got taken for granted before. You know, it was just always seen as a thing, right?
You know, you just pulled that thought right out of my mouth, Todd. I think sometimes we take these things for granted that happen year after year after year, and you never expect a disruption to life, what, you know, we would consider normal life, normal year-to-year activities, that all of a sudden everything pushed to the side.
And here come the players. We'll join the conversation down on the field as each of the underclassmen introduce their seniors.
A 4-year member of the field hockey team and a 3-year varsity player and a true sport athlete. This young lady has taught me and everyone on the team what it means to give it your all. She is a very reliable person, and you can always count on her to be hustling to the ball. She pushes herself and everyone around her so they can do their best. She is definitely someone who uses her speed to her advantage. She can be up and down the field in the moving arm. She is always someone who has taught me to keep your head up and keep pushing no matter what the score is. This young lady truly brings her all to every game and is someone who will miss next year. Accompanied by her father, Barry, mother, Stephanie, stepfather, Craig, grandmother, Mary Beth, and brother, Joshua, please welcome number 6, senior Ariana Constant.
That's senior Ariana Constant introduced there by keeper Anna Wari, who had that introduction. And now Gray Dallaire introduces, I'm going to guess, his brother, Anderson Dallaire.
LSU stopping the ball or doing his best to intimidate the other team's offense with marks and gravels. With a record of 1.2 goals a game last year, making him one of the best goalies in our division, he has been a valued member of the team both on and off the field. He does get some stares where people see him in net with a full beard and standing over 6'2", but we could not have asked for a better goalie. Accompanied by his father Jeff and mother Melinda and brother Dallaire. Please welcome number 28, senior Anderson Dallaire.
Gray Dallaire introduces his brother, senior Anderson Dallaire, the over 6-foot-tall keeper, as he receives some recognition. This is Madeline Parker.
Great leadership in his own remarkable asset to the Leominster Varsity Field Hockey team. This player shows great determination and teamwork out on the field. She made me and my fellow classmates feel welcome in our first year on the team. She is always filled with positivity, even when our games don't have the outcomes we want them to. She has a great amount of speed, and you can always rely on her to hustle down the field. She always knows how to pick up the team and get us hyped during our games. Accompanied by her parents, Mark and Patty, her grandparents, John and Pat, her sister Julia, and twin brother Adam, please welcome number 2, senior captain Sarah Wachusett.
I'm going to tell you right now, Todd and Kate. I'm going to tell you right now, Todd and Kate. If you don't think this doesn't mean something to these girls, just look at that smile.
Absolutely.
Says it all.
Without question. That's Madeline Parker introducing Sarah Diamandis.
It says it all right there.
This girl is a major part of our team. She continues to put in time and effort to get better. She is a defensive star, making incredible saves, pressuring the opponent and getting the ball out of the circle. She always steps up when her team needs her. She shows great leadership and determination and has been a huge asset to our team. We'll miss watching her play and hope she'll have speeds covered this season. Accompanied by our parents, Kristen and Holly Garcia, please welcome player number 16, senior Allison Gabriel.
As Allison Gabriel is introduced to the crowd, obviously not able to play this evening because of an injury, and I can't tell you, unfortunately, who the player was that introduced her. She's wearing a hoodie, but I can tell you that this is Emma Miller with the next introduction.
We are glad to call this player ours. This girl always comes from practice with a smile on her face and makes it certain that everybody is included. The first time I met this player, she confidently and without a doubt initiated a conversation and made me feel right at home. From that moment on, she has always made me and all of my teammates feel included in everything. Though she may appear to be a quiet and shy player, she is always encouraging and cheering for every teammate both on and off the field. She is always striving to be her best and makes a big impact on our offensive side. Accompanied by her father Jeff and mother Lori Howe, please welcome player number 10, senior Frankie Howe.
Francesca Howe, Frankie Howe introduced there by Emma Miller. And you can just hear in the words that are chosen at these moments just how much these opportunities mean and how much these players mean to one another. This is a great opportunity. It's one of my favorite senior nights I've ever seen, Bill Thomas. All right, back down to the field. This is Ashley Contreras with this introduction.
She's always encouraging others, setting an example, and pushing herself to become better. She has grown tremendously from when she first started 4 years ago, and her contributions to the team will mean tremendous. We all wish her well and best of luck as she chooses her dreams next year. Accompanied by her parents, Ken and Chris, and siblings Mariella and Ross, please welcome number 4, senior captain Eliza Howlett.
Eliza Howlett introduced to the crowd by Ashley Contreras for her senior night.
I'm going to nickname her Easy because she sure made the game look easy tonight.
She did indeed.
Congratulations to her.
This player is one of the nicest girls you will ever meet. She plays this sport with a passion and clearly shows her love for it as well. She shows up to practice every day, always happy, prepared, and excited to play with the team. This player always shows immense support for teammates and is always encouraging us to do our very best, as she does the entire time while on the field. This girl never fails to hustle to the ball and is always breaking up the play. I know I am speaking for everyone and say that I am thrilled to have the rest of the season with this player, but we'll miss her greatly next season. Accompanied by her parents, Mitchell and Donna, please welcome player number 14, senior captain Molly Jordan.
You can see Molly Jordan overcome by emotion as she was hearing that introduction from Nina Marchetti, and I could certainly appreciate the feelings and just how much these players care about one another.
Always has a smile on her face. She sprints hard at every ball on the field and is always challenging the other team's defense. This player is always pushing herself and others to do the best she can, and always manages to come through for her teammates when he needs her the most. She shows great versatility on the field moving between midfield and defense. She has grown tremendously
tremendously throughout the 4 years she has played. Accompanied by her parents, Jerry and Lisa, her older brother, JJ, and twin brother, Jeremy. Please welcome number 3, senior Jackie Millett.
Jackie Millett gets introduced to the crowd there. It was like a sparrow with the introduction. Gabriella Santucci will have the next introduction.
A 3-year field hockey player, first-year varsity member, and a 2-sport athlete, this girl works hard to become a better player every day. She made sure to use the time we had over the summer to work hard and improve skills to become the best player she can for our team this season. She shows up to every practice prepared and ready to play. On the field is a great asset to our offense, and you can always count on her to be open. She has a kind spirit and is encouraging to all of her teammates. We can't wait to play with her for the rest of the season and see the great things she brings out on the field. Accompanied by her parents, Paula and Elaine, and her sister, Nicole, please welcome player 9, senior Emily Oliveira.
Senior Emily Oliveira introduced to the crowd for her senior night by Gabriella Santucci. And now last introduction, Stella Fife with the last senior getting their introduction.
Her leadership, determination, positivity, and hard work was the reason she was chosen to be one of our captains this year. On the field, she consistently shows off her impeccable defending skills, hustling with the ball, and always being ready in the circle when her stick down. Even when on the sideline, she is sure to always be cheering on her teammates. She is an astounding role model to everyone on the team. This athlete is never caught slacking off, and she is always working her absolute hardest. Not only does she push herself to be the best she can, but she motivates the entire team to do the same. We're so lucky to have this athlete on our team. Accompanied by her parents, Joe and Karen, and her brother, Joe, please welcome number 15, senior captain, Mia Russo.
And Russo, last but certainly not least, the final senior introduced to the crowd by Stella Fife. And on this senior night, so glad we got a chance to be here. And a thank you, seniors, from the underclassmen. The last thing that we hear, and our good friend Tucker, I don't want to tell him that he's out of a job, but I really do like this format of senior night, Bill Thomas, getting to hear the players, have the confidence, by the way, and this is the communications teacher talking, to have the confidence to be able to stand up there and speak publicly in front of a whole crowd and to introduce each other and to speak honestly about one another. A tremendous senior night. One of my favorites I've ever been a part of.
I couldn't echo that even any stronger, Todd. We've been a part of a number of them with the football that we've covered, but very emotional evening tonight. And if you don't think this abbreviated season, such as it is in these times, doesn't mean something to these athletes, these student athletes, just look at every one of their faces, their parents, their siblings, and their co-teammates. Means a lot to each and every one of them out there.
Indeed it does. In the end of a great week 1 of fall season number 1 here on Rivalry Family Media. You've got a 3-day long weekend to check these games out on demand. YouTube, search Rivalry Family Media, and also out there on Facebook, facebook.com/media rivalry for this action. Again, same-day delays for all 12 of these games, plus some special programming to come. Bill Thomas, we're going to leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
But we're going to tell people there's
Tuned.
special programming to come during this fall season as well, and maybe some more, maybe even more than we thought of. We walked into the stadium tonight, but we're really excited to be a part of this. Can't say enough how much we appreciate the opportunity to be here, support our community, support these great student athletes, the coaches, the staff here of Leominster. Congratulations to them on a great night tonight. We look forward to being back here Tuesday night. We'll have full signature play-by-play. Coming up, it's girls soccer action here from historic Doyle Field. We'll have that action for you on same-day delay, 9 o'clock on Tuesday night here on Media Rivalry. All that's left to do is thank Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, and thank you all so very much for being a part of our family over the last couple of hours. We invite you to join us and be a part of our family each and every broadcast here on Rivalry Family Media. For everyone here at RFM, I am Todd Robbins saying thank you so very much for joining us, and until next time, so long, everybody.